Hello and welcome to this edition of The Boston Show. I'm your host, Francesco Tartaglia. Last week in Boston, Harvard Street Neighborhood Health Center held an open house on healthy aging. The open forum discussion featured a panel of doctors, lawyers, and nutritionists to field questions from the elderly.
So yes, the question is this genetic? And there is a genetic component to Alzheimer's disease.
Okay, so her question was that she has actually property that she would want to leave to her grandchildren in trust. And what is the best form that you could leave this property in? A trust is a great instrument.
Mayor Walsh and New England Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman received the Habitat for Humanity American Dream Award. Each year, Habitat for Humanity presents the American Dream Award to individuals who contribute to the improvement of the greater Boston community.
For many families, the American dream is still just a thought on an idea in their head. It's not actually reality. And Habitat for Humanity is actually an organization that brings that American dream through for so many people.
The award ceremony was also an opportunity to raise funds for Habitat's efforts to build affordable homes in partnerships with qualifying low-income families. Mayor Walsh joined neighborhood leaders in Dorchester to celebrate the start of construction at the Whittier-Lyndhurst, Washington development. The project will create 44 units of affordable housing and commercial space on 4 different sites in Codman Square.
I just want to say that the design of Whittier Homes that's being built here is something that helps us with its green space that will be there, and the play space, the community room that's going to be right behind you, and all the partnerships that are making this happen. This is helping increase neighborliness in our neighborhood.
The development was made possible in part by a contribution of over $1.6 million from the City of Boston. The first phase of the project is expected to be completed this summer. Mayor Walsh offered brief remarks at the Dorchester Board of Trade annual Mayor's Luncheon.
We need to hear from the small businesses in Dorchester about some of the challenges that you have and what the challenges might be in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Since 1911, the Dorchester Board of Trade has been uniting and strengthening the community's businesses as well as giving them a voice. Community members renamed the remainder of Winthrop Street Lowney Lane in honor of Irene Lowney, the recently departed matriarch. In 1972, Mrs. Lowney bought an empty building and turned it into the Lowney Medical Building, a much-needed station of healthcare in the community. As owner and manager of the building, Mrs. Lowney brought primary care, optometry, radiology, and dentistry to Hyde Park.
She certainly had a big heart for her community, and she never turned away any person in need.
As well as bringing healthcare to the Hyde Park community, Irene was also a board member of the Hyde Park Board of Trade, dedicated to many local charities, and she was also committed to helping the poor.
Irene Lowney is a gift in our world and has made our community a better place. Her legacy will live on for generations to come in her husband, their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren.
Mrs. Lowney's impact on Hyde Park will be felt for years to come through the medical services provided in her building and the continued work her family is doing in Hyde Park. The Emerald Necklace Conservancy held their 13th annual Party in the Park. Attendees broke out their best springtime outfits and matching hats to raise money in support of the Emerald Necklace.
Even with the array of colors in this room, this is also the greenest party of the year, because this gathering ensures the preservation of our most precious, natural, living jewel, the Emerald Necklace.
Law firm Ropes & Gray also received the Justine M. Liff Spirit Award for their generous donation.
So we thought a gift to Boston that would be sustainable is the right thing to do. And then we thought of trees. And we thought 150 trees to celebrate each of our 150 years in Boston. And our relationship with Boston would be the right thing to do.
The Conservancy hopes to raise $800,000. Boston's older adults gathered at District Hall in South Boston for the release of the latest installment in the Senior Memoir Writing Project.
10 years ago, this project was just an idea or a belief that there was a community of older writers in Boston who might like to spend a little time reminiscing and writing about themselves and reflecting on their lives.
Since 2006, the Mayor's Commission on Affairs of the Elderly has partnered with local nonprofit Grub Street to produce the Memoir Writing Project. The project has gathered adults aged 60 and over from 20 Boston neighborhoods to write their personal memories, an important part of the great history of the city.
These aren't stories that we're going to see on a movie screen. These aren't stories that we're going to read in a novel. These are actually stories from real, live Bostonians, people that are in this room, the things you've accomplished.
This event gave the Boston authors an opportunity to reflect on their work and even sign some autographs. Dorchester's Boys and Girls Club held their 22nd annual New England Women's Leadership Awards. The 2016 NEWLA Award recipients included Dean of Berklee College of Music, Crystal Prime Banfield, Founding Director of the Women and Public Policy Program, Swanee Hunt, and Executive Director in the Office of Engineering Outreach Programs at MIT, Shauna Young.
For all of the work that people have helped me with, all of my mentors, my payback, of course, is giving back and being able to help those others.
And I know that I cannot change the world by myself, but I know I can change the world. And I live my life every single day thinking that if I can just do one more thing, if I can send one more email, if I can make one more trip, and if that's one more kid sitting in a seat at MIT, it was worth my time. Because someone did that for me.
Since 1992, 109 women in the Boston area and throughout New England have been recognized for their accomplishments in athletics, business, education, health and human services, politics, and more. The event was created to provide role models for the young members of Dorchester's Boys and Girls Club in an effort to build leaders of the future. Older Americans Month marches on with the Dorchester Day Parade of Seniors. The event provides a free lunch and entertainment for seniors as a way of celebrating the Dorchester Day Parade. This luncheon was started by the late Joe Chasen over 10 years ago as a way to involve the seniors in the Dorchester Day celebration. Mayor Walsh offered remarks at the Mass General Hospital Foster G. McGaw Prize for Excellence celebration. The celebration was hosted by Mass General for their accomplishment of winning the 2015 Foster G. McGaw Prize for Excellence in Community Service.
This hospital that we're standing in today, in the heart of our city, is the best hospital in America, which we can translate that into this is the best hospital in the world because of the care that we have in this country.
To watch any event covered in its entirety, stay tuned to Boston City TV. And to watch all new episodes of The Boston Show, tune in at 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. Thanks for joining us for this edition of The Boston Show.